Hi guys, my name is Fahd Dawood. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We talk about real estate, investment, starting you, myself, onto the path and achieving financial freedom for yourself and your family. So every once in a while, I get questions and I love to answer them. If I've not answered them previously, I apologize. Please send me another WhatsApp message. I will get to your questions sooner rather than later. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon. Would love it if you can stay in touch and give me your comments and feedback, because that helps me improve on the content that I'm creating. He asked the question and unfortunately I wasn't able to respond. I apologize for that. Thank you for your patience. Essentially he's asking about buying 1, 2, 3 properties and building that portfolio up and renting it out. Look, Dubai is a great place to buy that first property, then second and third, and then perhaps at a certain later stage you want to diversify the rest of the world. But Dubai, let's not forget, as good or bad it might be, at the end of the day, Dubai is still pretty much 6 to 8%, in some cases 9% rental income, which means cash, net to your pocket, tax-free. I don't know if you know anywhere else you can get this with a kind of pegged dollar currency. Like something else that a lot of people forget is that the rental income you earn here, you can pretty much convert it into dollars instantly and never worry about the exchange rate fluctuating during the year. Name 1 or 2 or 3 other countries that probably come to your mind. I'd love you to comment below where this is the case, that the rent is absolutely tax-free and you can convert it into US American dollars at the same exchange rate throughout the year. Now that's a big advantage, right? So absolutely amazing. Dubai is a great place to invest. That's good. Kudos to you. Expo 2020 is coming up. You know, things are heating up a little bit in Dubai, right? I'm getting a lot of inquiries from buyers coming back. The other question seems very personal to him, but perhaps there's other people who can benefit from it. He's asking about whether he should buy the asset, the property under his name. Would advise on the personal name or set up a free zone company. Some say that on the internet that free zone company can't own real estate but not receive income from Dubai mainland. What are the pros and cons? Okay, so let me give you a little bit of a history on how the whole free zone thing came into being, right? So as Dubai property took off in 2002, 2003, essentially speaking, in Dubai, you could buy a property under anybody's name or any company name, regardless of where the company was, regardless of the jurisdiction that company was registered in. So we had a lot of companies from the British Virgin Islands, we had companies from the Cayman Islands, from the UK, etc., etc. All of these places where the rich and wealthy generally store their wealth and then they go around the world to buy properties. And that was fine until Dubai started recognizing that having such an open environment where people from the British Virgin Islands can buy companies, it becomes very difficult to monitor and register who is changing in terms of the directorship of the company. So for instance, if you own a property, let's say $100 million in Dubai worth of property, but it's owned under the British Virgin Islands, free zone companies per se, it's very easy for you to change director ownership at the head company and thereby change ownership of the property that is owned in Dubai, but not pay the 4% registration fee which is due to the Dubai Land Department in Dubai. So slowly and gradually, that's kind of like phased out of the market. There still might be properties that are held under a British Virgin Island company, and that's okay. But slowly and gradually, it's been phased out of the market, and the only place where you can own a company under a free zone in Dubai now is Jebel Ali Free Zone, and I believe Ras Al Khaimah Free Zone as well. The reason is because they are here, these free zones are based in the UAE. Dubai has a certain way of doing business so that if directorship changes in a company that owns property, you have to pay the 4%, because essentially speaking, a company that owns a property, if you end up buying that company, you're ending up buying the property as the asset as well. So it's only fair that the government should get their 4% registration fee, right? But it's kind of clamped down and it's very less now. It's not really that much. Now, having a property, let's say if you want to have the property under a free zone, what are the pros and cons? Look, it actually almost always depends on your personal situation. Now, people with large amounts of wealth would rather that a company own the property, because it just makes life easy to manage that asset in terms of inheritance, in terms of when you need to sell it. The directors don't need to be present in the country. They can just give a power of attorney to somebody, so on and so forth. At the same time, it does allow you a certain level of anonymity, right? So let's say you open a Jebel Ali Free Zone company called XYZ company, and that XYZ company actually owns the property that you live in, but you own that company. Generally speaking, if somebody was to look at the title deed papers, they wouldn't know that you personally own that property. Now, for some people, anonymity is important. I'm not going to get into that. If that's the case, then perhaps you want to go that route. However, what you do have to recognize that a Jebel Ali Free Zone company or a Ras Al Khaimah company onshore or offshore, there is an establishment cost, almost about 30,000 dirhams, which is about $10,000. This is 3 or 4 year old prices. They've probably gone up, so maybe take into account 40,000, so about $15,000. And then every year you need to renew that the Jebel Ali Free Zone company, because it's essentially a trade license, so you need to renew that trade license every year. You're looking at paying about $7,000 to $9,000 dirhams rather, which is about $2,000 to $3,000 per year. So if rental income is your concern, then you have to consider that this is an expense that's eating into your rental income. But if there's other concerns, then perhaps it's a way you want to go. Last but not the least, he's asked a question about inheritance laws. He calls it heritage laws, but I think he means inheritance laws. Look, this is a rather deep matter. So what I'm going to do is, the one person I use who's been doing wills, testaments, and stuff like that, inheritance, for 20 plus years, both in the United Kingdom and in Dubai, UAE, I would rather that you guys could reach out to him and understand more about inheritance laws in Dubai and the UAE, because he'll be able to give you a more solid, concrete, crisp and clear and accurate answer rather than myself, because I'm a real estate trying to be an expert, but I'm on the journey. I'm not a wills inheritance expert, so I'm going to put his number down below. If you have more questions, please reach out to me. Hit the subscribe button, it's right there. Press the bell icon, don't be shy, reach out to me. If you want to work one-on-one, WhatsApp me, I'll tell you how I do that. Look forward to keeping in touch. Ciao.